Hey everyone, this is Eric from YourFieldersChoice.com, coming to you today with some of the top plays for this NBA slate for the 12th of January. Got 3 games that have a total over 231, so a lot of the emphasis will be on those games. Look to those, they start after 8:30 Eastern, so a little bit later in the day. Also be aware there's some news with Brooklyn. Currently, James Harden questionable, Kyrie Irving questionable. If they're both out, lock in Durant. But we may not get that news before lock. So let's dive in and find some plays. As I mentioned, we got some high total games, and one of the first ones is the Houston-San Antonio Spurs game. One of my favorite plays from this game is going to be DeJounte Murray. He comes in, been stellar all year with this Spurs team that's playing a much faster pace this year. He's averaging 18 points a game, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and he gets a matchup with Houston, one of the other faster teams in the league. So sign me up for some DeJounte Murray. Over his last 10 games, he's had a floor of 33.5 and a ceiling of 72.8. He's had 3 triple-doubles over that time. Lots of pay-up options, but I think that Murray may be one of my favorites. So it looks like Spencer Dinwiddie's been cleared to play back-to-backs now, and just at the right time. Like Beal's going to be out for this game again. DraftKings didn't get the memo, left his price at a cool $6,000 for us tonight. So we'll take the discount, because without Beal, Dinwiddie's played an average of 34.8 minutes. He has a 28.6% usage rate, 42% assist rate, to go along with 1.4 fantasy points per minute. During those games without Beal, he's averaging 48.6 fantasy points. Poor play, lock him in, move on. As we move over to forward, we're going to find you a little bit of savings so you can fit some of those bigger names in tonight. And Harrison Barnes checks in at 5.3K. He's a good fit into your cash lineup. Recent game with the Lakers, he put up 14 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists across 31 minutes. The ceiling's kind of capped at 34 fantasy points, but he definitely is not going to kill your lineup, and he's a good source of safety. I'm going to continue to find you some savings here at forward, and we got Chuma Okeke. He's coming in tonight at 4.6K. Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter have been ruled out for tonight. And if you're not aware by now, you target Washington as a big. So Okeke should be in for a much larger role tonight. I really like him at this price. Not projected to be high owned yet, but I think that can change. 31.5 fantasy points in 4 out of his last 7 games with a high at 53.5. So you can do worse than him here at 4.6. So now I saved you some money, and what are you going to do with all this money? Tonight's a good night to trust the process. So Embiid, one of the top spin-ups on the slate, he just put up 55 points in 26 minutes versus Houston Rockets. This is a similar matchup with Charlotte tonight. They don't have anyone that's going to stop Embiid. Over his last 7 games, he's averaged 58 points. He scored exactly 31 points in each of his last 4 games. So it's a great spot for Embiid. Maybe one of the lower owned studs, but I think he's a perfect fit for your lineup. Here we go, taking you down to Value Town with Onyeka Okongwu here, coming in at 3.9K. He's taken on a larger role recently with these Hawks having some players out, and should see that again tonight. I know that Gorgie Jang will be back, cleared health and safety protocols, not sure about his conditioning. Capella is doubtful with an ankle injury, so good spot for Okongwu, who's put up 20 plus fantasy points in the last 3 games.